Dakar course from the first day, and you know, when I look at this tape again now, looking back, it wasn't such a good day for me.
Different terrain here, Alfie, as well.
Yeah, this was part of the section of the Dakar that we did, but I was very happy here going up to the refuel, being totally on my own, having to navigate by myself here. And when I got to the refuel, I calculated my time against the front runners, and I had made, I think, 2 minutes on Richard Sight, who was the current leader at the halfway point.
What were your plans here, especially when you got into these proper desert terrain?
Starting in second place going into the stage, I knew I had Juan Roma in front of me. It was two laps of the same loop, so if I could find out what I was doing on the first lap, and then second lap, obviously it's a bit easier because you're going on the same course, and getting a second year was good on the first loop.
Out, yeah, it's really flat plain. What sort of top speeds at this point?
I think when I went into the computer, Dave, at the end of the day, probably 159, and you know, my bike is the third best bike. There's still the twin cam of Juan Roma's, which is a good 168, and then you have the other one that's got a different camshaft to mine with the aluminium tanks, which is about 163. We actually looked in the evening to see who had the fastest speed of the day.
So Alfie Cox learned his lesson well. Now another local lad went to foreign shores to learn a very hard lesson indeed.
Granada Dakar Rally, a grueling race of speed and endurance, proudly sponsored by Total Cox Lubricants, tried and tested in the toughest conditions, exclusive to Supersport.
The rest day over all too soon for riders and drivers alike. Machines mended and minds fighting to refocus on the job in hand. The second half of the 21st Dakar Rally. Stage 9 was supposed to end in Gao, but security worries meant that Mopti would see the day's finale. So farewell, Bobo Bialasso. A 304-kilometre special was the rejig start, and navigation problems with the new map there for all to see. But it was Alfie Cox who was to take his first stage win in fine style. Even he was lost 5 times on the day.
You know, today was a lot of bushes, very big thorns, and not really the Dakar because sandy tracks, but exactly like we have at home in Botswana. And I felt at home. It was great for me. It was, you know, I'm used to that type of riding, and it was perfect.
Yes, and an almost perfect day for KTM. 1 and 2, Carlo Di Gavardo, the Chilean, second on the day, 5 minutes off Cox's pace. And then came the Yamaha of Carlos Sotelo, just seconds adrift, and ahead of Richard Sight, the overall leader. Yes, the BMW rider saying he had to take it easy through the villages, and his time would have been a lot better had he not been watching out for children, animals and mules. Thierry Magnaldi was 5th behind Sight. Magnaldi second overall, 6 minutes and 43 off the pace. And this man, Miodi, number 1, 3rd overall after finishing 6th. Yes, fond memories of Burkina Faso fading all too soon. Yes, 6 times winner of the Dakar on the bikes, Stefan Pederhansel. He swapped for a Nissan this time, and he's doing rather well. 5th on the day. 7 minutes and 49 off the winning pace. He enjoyed himself, he says. I like specials like this. Not too many stones, quite technical. There were navigation difficulties, he said. It was very amusing. Tough through the villages, though, he says. He had to slow down for everybody. They got a good time, and not too many errors, he says. Well, the Mitsubishis had a good day. Kenji Shinazuka, second fastest. 7 minutes and 4 seconds off the pace and up to 4th overall. Jutta Kleinschmidt, though, was having more difficulties than she was used to. When others were having punctures earlier in the race, she'd got through okay this time. There were 2 for her. She finished 9th. Miguel Prieto, 3-stage wins for him. 3rd today, 2nd overall ahead of Kleinschmidt, but still 9 minutes and 25 off the leader, Jean-Louis Schlesser. Yes, coming home in 3 hours 43:08 to take the stage and increasing his lead overall. No problems for others, of course. Thierry Delaverne suffering more than most. A bent steering rod for him. So on to stage 10, and those security problems still causing havoc. The diversion to Mopti meant a very long 1,000-kilometre stage was in the offing to Timbuktu, which would have seen some of the already depleted motorcyclists arriving at 3 a.m. Too late to contest the following stage. So Hubert Auriol, race director, made the announcement that for the first time in Dakar history, the bikes and the riders would be transported by aeroplane. So an unexpected rest day for the bikers. Popular with some, not so with others. Fuel drained from the machines, loaded aboard for safety reasons. Bike leader Sainz said, "It's lucky for me, but also for the amateurs. Starting at 3 in the morning and arriving in the middle of the night, it would have been impossible for some of them, just too hard." So he says the decision is a wise one. Well, for those pursuing, like Mione, it was a different story. He said, "The Dakar is not about flying, it's about racing on the ground. The decision to go by plane is not good for me. It means one less special to catch sight." He says, "But I can understand the reasons why the decision was made." So time for the riders to get some extra sleep, and for those more alert to look down and watch the race take place with the cars.
Perfect day. Lovely day today.
John Deacon more than delighted with the rest. And so a pleasant day for those on 2 wheels, and an arduous one, to say the least, for those on 4 or more. Yes, just 46 cars still in the race, and perhaps a few less by the day's end. .600 kilometers plus of liaison, followed by more than 400 of special, as Jean-Pierre Fontenay was putting the foot down. So unlucky in the first half of the Dakar. It was to be his day. Fontenay finishing 4 minutes and 15 seconds clear of Prieto, putting himself 7th in the overall ranking, but still over 6.5 hours off the pace. He may not be challenging for position overall, but when it comes to racing day by day, Fontenay still has the passion. Well, others as well, of course, with points to prove. Prieto himself, 3-stage wins already under his belt, and 2nd today ahead of the leader, Mr. Schlesser. Well, a great deal of respect for this vehicle over the many years that it's contested the Dakar, and that remained intact on the day. Schlesser 3rd fastest, ahead of Shinozuka. It was Mitsubishi's 4, 5 and 6, with Matsuoka and Souza finishing ahead of the Nissan of Serbia. And what of Kleinschmidt? Well, her luck finally running out. 20 minutes lost time due to a damaged wheel stuck behind traffic. She finished 10th and fell down over 3/4 of an hour off Schlesser's pace. Overall, still 3rd. As for the trucks, the big boys, well, part of their journey was by water. A beautiful sight in the Niger Delta. And so it was back to Mauritania, a special of 539 kilometers. Gone was the greenery. It was desert conditions once more.